What's up, Top Shelf fam? Here with another video, and I am sad to say today is the last day of the NFL season. It's Super Bowl Sunday. In the previous couple videos, I broke down each team, why they're here, why they deserve to be here, and how they even got here. It's been a crazy ride for both teams. I think this game is going to be absolutely electric. I don't know how high scoring or what's going to happen in the game. I just know this is a rematch from a couple of years ago, and I look for it to be the exact same way. It's going to come down to one play at the end of the game to decide it all. But first, before we get into anything, I'd like to shout out my sponsor, Dubby, Dubby.gg. Use my code TOPSHELF1 for 10% off. As you can see, looks like they have updated a lot of these drinks, and a lot of these flavors are back. There is a couple here that are still sold out, but pretty much everything is up to date, in stock, ready to go. Use my code TOPSHELF1, get 10% off. It helps you, it helps me, and that's about it. But let's jump right into the game, man. I'm going to give you my picks, my breakdown, all the props and plays that I like, and let's try to make some money today. So about all week, it opened up at 3.5 for Seattle. They are now at 4.5, 45.5 for the total, 238 on the money line, 195 for New England. Pretty much they think Seattle is going to absolutely run away with this game. It's going to be close. I'm going to tell you it's going to be close. Both of these teams have great defenses. Both these teams have had sustainable offenses. Just beating the teams that they should when they needed to, and that's how both these teams got here. Let's get into it. Let's get into looking at these props and who I like, and let's put us some legs in here together, and let's see if we can make some money. Just right off top, 4.5. If you're looking at any kind of plays, key numbers, 7, 3, 14, 10. That half a point right there for that 4 scares me. I think this game is going to be a 3-point game in my opinion. Whether who wins, who loses, I don't really care. But I like New England at minus 104 at plus 4.5. I think they can cover 4.5. Even if they lose by 4, they're still going to cover this bet here. But that extra half a point there is usually what gets a lot of people and gets the public. If you like Seattle at 4 or 3.5, you can buy it down, buy the half a point or the full point. But you're going to be looking at like minus 150, minus 160 on the odds for that. What I like to go into next is I like to go into, I think, how the game is going to be played. If everybody thinks that Seattle's going to be winning late in the game, then New England is going to have to be throwing the ball. So that leaves Drake May for passing yards. His over-under set at 224.5. I honestly think he gets there. If we go back and look at his stats over the past couple games, he's actually been doing very well. All right, now that we're back, sorry, had some technical difficulties. My mouse died. I don't know what happened. It just, went away. But as I was saying, I like Drake May. If they're losing in the game, which obviously the books think that they are, I like Drake May and over 224.5. They're going to have to pass the ball late if they are losing. But it's going to be a close game. I think both these defenses have great D-lines and great secondaries. And it's going to be tough. But I do think Drake May can get to 224.5. If you look at his previous games, other than last week in the crazy snow and then against Houston's immaculate defense, he's pretty much been around 220, 225 every single time. I mean, he didn't get 4,300 yards for nothing. I mean, just looking at the season and how it went, 256, 380, 282, 294, 281, 270, 259, 282. I mean, the dude's just been absolutely tearing it up. I know as of late they've been running the ball a little bit more just to keep the pressure off of him. But that doesn't scare me at 224. I actually think he probably gets to 250 in this game and soars way over. And on the flip side to that, I like getting some receiver props in there. I'm gonna put 2 in there for you. I know a lot of people are gonna be like hounding Stephon Diggs for him. That's why I'm gonna go with his number 2 in Keyshawn Boutte. I like this dude for 25 plus receiving yards. If they're doubling Stephon Diggs and they're honing in on the run game, look for Boutte to have a big game here. And also for the receiving props for San Fran side, nobody has had an answer for this dude right here, Jackson Smith and Jigba. Nobody's had a stop for him. I know his receiving yards are at 91.5. I'm gonna break that down just a little bit, and I'm gonna go with 80. Sometimes the books are wrong, and sometimes I'm wrong. So, like most of the time, if it's set at 90, it's probably going to be pretty close to that. The books aren't in it not to make money. So, some lines you might see real obscured, and some lines you are getting basically a free square. But I like to bring this down to 10 yards under whatever the book has it at, which is 91. So I'm going to break it down to 80. Pay a little bit more juice just in case if he happens to get hurt or they're doubling him up like they are going to do Stephon Diggs. Just anything can happen in a football game. And then I like to put in some rushing yards. But in this case, Zach Charbonnet is not available. He did have the knee injury, which I think was an ACL. Kenneth Walker. So it's pretty much going to be only Kenneth Walker, maybe a little bit of this George Holani. But I can tell you, Kenneth Walker is going to take 90% of these snaps today. And his over-under set at 70. But this dude does catch the ball out of the backfield, so you got to be leery about that. So in that case, I'm going to go to player rushing and receiving yards. And Kenneth Walker is at 96.5. I'm going to load that up, and I'm going to place that one as well. So there's our first 5. I know it's going to probably be a little less scoring than what people are expecting or hoping, but I am going to throw 2 TD scores in there, 1 from each team, because I doubt that anybody's going to get shut out in this game. And we're going to stay away from the big-time heavy hitters, Kenneth Walker, JSN, Ramondre Stevenson. We all know that those guys are going to get a touchdown. But I got a couple sleepers that I think might sneak into the end zone, and one of them is down here for Seattle. Their big-time pickup, Rashid Shaheed, plus 370. I think this is great value. He's had punt returns back. He's had kick returns back. He's liable for a deep ball down the sideline at any moment. This dude's fast. He's electric. And just somehow he finds his way into the end zone. He's going to get a lot of opportunities tonight. Give me Rashid Shaheed at plus 370 for Seattle side and for New England. When they are in the red zone and they're not running the ball, they're looking for their big tight end, Hunter Henry. And at plus 230, I think that is absolute great value. As you can see up here to our top right, plus 15,727, a $10 bet is going to win you $1,572. That is pretty much going to be our picks and our bet for today's Super Bowl. Just a couple other props that I like. Just going to the popular ones. Each team to score 1 rushing touchdown and 1 passing touchdown in each half, plus 100 or plus 10,000. So $10 will win you 1,000. I think that's going to be tough because both of these defenses are very good. And I think the game might start a little bit slower in the first half. So be leery about that one. They obviously got it at plus 10,000 for a reason. But one I was looking at, each team to score one touchdown and one field goal in each half. Now, I do like that one. I do believe both teams are going to take points when they can get them and hope to score the touchdown when they get into the red zone. But I do think as soon as teams cross that 50 to 40-yard mark, be ready for them kickers to come in and have a big game, because we all know this is the biggest game on the biggest stage. So points are going to come to a premium. So, I look for teams to take the points and just score when they get into the red zone. So a 17-1 for this one right here. I actually like that a lot. That's great value for 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals in each half. And if you're thinking about it, that's really 1 touchdown and field goal per quarter. So, I mean, like you need 1 in 1 quarter, 1 in another quarter. So you really just don't want these teams to get shut out in a quarter or a half, and you'll be hitting on 17-1. So I think that is some great odds there. Drake May and Sam Darnold each have 15 passing yards in each quarter. Yeah, that sounds easy, but with the way these defenses play, man, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody did not get to 15 in one of those quarters, just because they're going to run the ball maybe early in the game. 30 yards in each quarter, you get an extra 4-1 odds. It boosts up to 5-1 there. I mean, there's all kinds of just random props, side bets, anything you want. They got it on here. You can go to quick bets. You can anything you want, anything you can think of. The coin toss, the national anthem, the big ones. What color Gatorade is going to be dumped on the coach after the game. Man, they have all these on here. FanDuel, if you want to give me a sponsorship, man, I would love that. But like I said, these 7 legs right here, you can take $10, turn it to $1,500, and it's going to be a hell of a Super Bowl Sunday. So those are my picks, my plays, props that I like, and we'll see you boys after the game.